With today's action, we are finally going to be able to make America great again, greater than ever before. I'll let you know at the appropriate time. Let's see if we can make a deal.
Brought in, but there has been a major pause.
Amazon, the world's largest marketplace, is dismantling its ties with the United States. And the fallout is nothing short of catastrophic.
This is what we're going to kind of see with the timeline. Starting in June, this is where you're going to start seeing, those items that we love to get really cheap online.
For decades, Amazon stood as the towering symbol of e-commerce's triumph, connecting millions of consumers to virtually endless products, all delivered with near-instant speed. But now, what we see is really frustrating.
When you're looking at the amount of items that have been brought in, and people are just really uncertain, if you will, is it going to consumer going to buy?
This chaos was powered by a supply chain that stretched seamlessly across the globe, a finely tuned machine humming efficiently behind the scenes. But that empire, it's unraveling fast, and the tremors are shaking far beyond Amazon's own walls.
We really shouldn't see a rush because we actually have the items in. It's going to hit us in waves, Alex.
At the heart of this storm is a jaw-dropping $13 billion loss Amazon expects to face over the next 3 years. A direct, brutal hit from the Trump administration's aggressive tariff policies.
But now it's our turn to prosper, and in so doing, use trillions and trillions of dollars to reduce our taxes and pay down our national debt. Destroyed China was taking us for a ride, and just not going to happen.
Let's break it down. In a move that shocked global markets, the administration imposed a staggering 145% tariff on Chinese goods, plus a sweeping 10% tax on imports from nearly every other country.
145% is very high, and it won't be that high. It's not going to be that high.
For Amazon, this wasn't just a policy shift. It was a full-scale assault on the very backbone of its business model. The company built its success on affordable international goods, and suddenly, that backbone was snapping under the crushing weight of these new taxes.
After all of that, the White House making very clear their position, both publicly and privately.
The impact hit fast and hard. Small businesses, which had come to rely on Amazon's platform to sell products to a vast audience, found their cost structures crumbling overnight. Logistics networks, once optimized for razor-thin efficiency, spiraled into chaos.
Various elements built it up to 145. No, it won't be anywhere near that high.
And everyday consumers used to low prices and an ocean of options started to feel the pinch. The most dramatic fallout? The financial world took a hit in April 2025 when Amazon's stock price plummeted 5%, wiping out more than $60 billion in market value within weeks. This was no mere stumble. It was a crisis.
And there's new reporting on a phone call between the president and the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos.
But Amazon refused to take it lying down. Enter Project Tariff Transparency, a bold, unprecedented move.
It all has to do with a certain section of that website potentially showing shoppers how much Trump tariffs might cost them.
The plan was straightforward yet explosive. Show the exact cost of tariffs on every product page so customers could see how much of their money was being gobbled up by these import taxes. This wasn't just business. It was a direct challenge to Trump's America First narrative. The political and corporate landscapes shook with the news.
Sources telling CNN that the president at one point wasn't happy earlier today about a report he saw regarding the online retail giant, Amazon.
The White House response? Explosive. Trump reportedly called Jeff Bezos himself, accusing Amazon of sabotaging his administration's policies and stirring public outrage.
Amazon was considering to show the cost of tariffs on Amazon's website next to its prices to show the breakdown of how much more the tariffs were making these products cost.
The administration branded Project Tariff Transparency a smear campaign, a political ambush designed to undermine their agenda.
Of course he was pissed. Why should a multi-billion-dollar company pass off costs to consumers?
Amazon denied any sabotage intent, eventually scrapping the idea, but the damage was done. The message was clear: tariffs were hurting, and Amazon wasn't going to let the public forget it.
Publicly, that they believed that the move was a hostile political act.
This wasn't just a corporate stance, it was a political statement. Investors, already jittery from growing economic strain, were blindsided. Many had assumed Amazon would quietly adapt, absorb losses, and weather the storm. Instead, Amazon took a stand, escalating tensions and putting itself squarely in the administration's crosshairs.
The president was so angered by this, he called up the founder of Amazon himself, Jeff Bezos, to complain about the potential plans that were being reported on.
But the shockwaves didn't stop at Amazon. Small businesses that relied on the platform felt the squeeze immediately. Their razor-thin margins vanished overnight, some collapsing under the sudden cost pressure. Vendors scrambled to compete in a marketplace turned upside down by new trade rules.
The new effective tariff rate against China, effective today, is actually 145%.
Meanwhile, consumers felt it in their wallets. Prices on everyday goods began climbing, with projections forecasting even worse to come. Baby car seats? Expected to jump by $100. Electronics? Prices rising 15%. Shoes, clothes, household items, all becoming pricier, eating away at American purchasing power. Yale's budget lab calculated the hit at more than $2,800 lost per average household in 2025 alone. Not inflation, but direct tariff impact.
While stoking uncertainty among business owners and economists,
the ripple effect spread further still. Retail giants like Walmart and Target warned they couldn't keep prices down much longer. Supply chains, once optimized for speed and cost efficiency, were teetering on collapse. Ports like Los Angeles and Long Beach sat with idle containers, shipments delayed, workers laid off. The very arteries of American imports clogged and slowing to a crawl.
For decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far, both friend and foe alike.
The irony? Trump's tariffs were supposed to protect American jobs, bring manufacturing home, and revive national pride. Instead, they unleashed chaos. China isn't breaking under tariffs. They're rerouting exports through Vietnam, Malaysia, and other countries. The U.S. watches as its largest companies adapt not by reshoring jobs, but by offshoring smarter. Factories rise in Vietnam and India, shipments flow through Mexico. Amazon shifts its economic core away from the U.S. Not by choice, but because staying is now too costly.
Members of Donald Trump's economic team are pushing for a total reorganization of the international financial system.
This story isn't just about Amazon, it's about a system in crisis. The unintended consequences of policies meant to strengthen America have instead exposed its vulnerabilities. And the worst? This is just the beginning. Take a peek behind the curtain at Project Silver Compass, Amazon's covert escape hatch. This is no mere contingency, it's a bold declaration. Boardroom discussions imagined moving HQ to tech havens like Singapore, Ireland's tax-friendly shores, Canada's familiar terrain, or booming UAE. These options are more than talk. They're active considerations.
Yeah, it really depends on the item. I mean, when it comes to the autos, Alex, it's those tariffs.
Why Singapore? A futuristic, efficient tech hub. Ireland? A digital-friendly tax paradise. Canada? Close culturally and geographically. UAE? A rising global business hotspot. But this isn't just about shiny new offices. Nearly 1 million American jobs hang in the balance. From warehouse workers to delivery drivers to tech wizards. Small businesses built on Amazon's ecosystem could be left gasping.
As part of the scheme, the White House would reclassify trading partners into friends and enemies.
What's wild is that this plan blindsided nearly everyone. Investors, politicians, even some Amazon execs. It's corporate betrayal 101, like finding out your best friend is moving continents without a heads up. The fallout could be catastrophic. Seattle's booming tech city could turn ghost town. City budgets would plummet, housing markets crash. Local businesses fueled by Amazon employees' spending would falter. Losing Amazon is like losing a lung. Recovery isn't quick or easy.
Before another one has to come in, that will be more expensive.
Now, let's talk about a lost Amazon classic: cheap goods from Chinese sellers. Those $2 phone cases, $3 kitchen gadgets, quirky novelty items, the backbone of Amazon's haul section, are vanishing. Why? The Trump tariffs obliterated the de minimis exemption, which allowed low-value imports under $800 to enter duty-free. Without it, Chinese sellers face crushing costs.
We're going to be very good to China, have a great relationship with President Xi, but they would make billions and billions and billions of dollars a year, and they would build their military out of the United States and what they made, so that won't happen.
The result? An 85% cancellation rate among Chinese sellers on Amazon US. They're not shutting down, but fleeing to greener pastures like Europe and Brazil, where tariffs don't kill their margins. Shenzhen, the e-commerce heartland, faces factory slowdowns, job losses, and a collapsed cost structure. An insider bluntly said, "The entire cost structure has fallen apart." For Amazon, this spells disaster. Losing the low-cost product ecosystem that pulled bargain hunters by the millions is a huge blow. That once treasured haul of cheap finds, gone. Logistics, too, faced disruption. Warehouses built for high-volume, low-cost goods now struggle to adjust.
Today, the White House said Donald Trump signed an order doubling steel and aluminum tariffs against almost all of our trading partners.
Consumers feel the sting, too. Low-income families depended on these bargains for essentials: school supplies, household basics. Now prices rise, forcing hard choices.
And as concerns about rising prices and uncertainty grow, Reuters reports that the administration sent out a letter asking trade partners to come negotiate by tomorrow.
The irony: tariffs meant to protect American business have gutted the very ecosystem that supported millions of vendors and low-cost suppliers. Chinese sellers aren't breaking, they're pivoting. It's the U.S. left scrambling.
Those are the items that are going to get hit first, and those are like the fast fashion, products we might get on Amazon.
And here's the warehouse elephant in the room: half-empty U.S. warehouses. Amazon has rerouted logistics away from U.S. ports to Vietnam, Mexico, and India, swapping a familiar GPS for a global treasure map.
I don't want to comment on that, but I've spoken to him many times.
At California ports, containers sit idle, longshoremen sent home early, truckers wait for freight that never comes, and warehouse spaces echo with emptiness. Meanwhile, Mexican border hubs boom. Bustling warehouses packed to bursting, efficient cross-border flows. It's a tale of two supply chains. U.S. infrastructure falters, while Mexico thrives. This shift hits not only Amazon's rivals, Walmart, Target, Home Depot, but also consumers. Shelves are emptier, prices rise, and the quick Walmart run feels more like a treasure hunt. Let's rewind to when Trump's tariffs were announced. Promises of manufacturing rebirth, jobs, national pride, and economic reset. But grand promises often fall short.
And the reason why is that smaller businesses, they can't afford to have front-loaded, right, all of these items in to beef up their inventory.
Instead of a renaissance, we got unintended consequences: rising prices, supply chains offshoring, corporate resistance. Jobs didn't return, logistics reshuffled. Yale's budget lab reported a sobering reality. The average American household lost $2,800 in purchasing power in 2025 alone. Not inflation, but direct tariff cost. China ironically adapted quickly, rerouting exports to Europe, Africa, South America. The U.S. flounders, stuck playing catch-up. The storm isn't coming, It's here. Baby car seats, $100 pressure. Electronics, 15% hikes. Product lines quietly disappearing due to cost.
We have seen the pullback on a multitude of different economic indicators in terms of that hesitancy. And without really any definitive acknowledgement of what's going on, we're going to see this pullback.
Small businesses gasping for air, forced to raise prices or close. Big companies like Amazon temporarily absorb losses, but their poker face won't last. The bubble will burst. Amazon's transformation from US-centric giant to global nomad is clear. Trump's tariffs weren't just a policy misstep. They reshaped global corporate strategies. This isn't just Amazon leaving the US. It's a global shift, and America risks being left behind. So what do you think? Are we watching the end of an era, or can America bounce back? Drop your thoughts below. Been with us this whole time? Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.